Alright, you guys, and welcome to a brand new video. It is Tornadoes Man, and today we are talking about the 2011 El Reno Piedmont tornado. This tornado brings me back to the 2013 El Reno tornado that was 2.6 miles wide. This tornado, though, was actually rated EF5 on the enhanced Fujita scale with an hour and 44 minutes of a damage path. This tornado was formed on May 24, 2011 at 3:51 p.m. and dissipated on May 24, 2011 at 5:35 p.m. This tornado was the mile-track long path EF5 tornado that touched down in El Reno and traveled to Piedmont, Oklahoma. My AI will be reading this documentary of the 2011 El Reno Piedmont tornado. And for more content like this, like, comment, and subscribe.
During the evening hours of May 24, 2011, a large, long-tracked and exceptionally intense EF5 tornado, commonly known as the El Reno Piedmont Tornado, 2, or the El Reno EF5, impacted areas near or within the communities of El Reno, Piedmont, and Guthrie, killing 9 people and injuring 181 others. After producing incredible damage in several locations along a path of more than 60 miles, 97 kilometers, the tornado was given a rating of EF5 on the enhanced Fujita scale, with peak wind speeds of 210 miles per hour, 340 kilometers per hour, although a mobile Doppler radar found that the tornado possessed wind speeds of up to 295 miles per hour, 475 kilometers per hour. The tornado was the first EF5 tornado to occur in the state of Oklahoma since May 3, 1999, when an F5 tornado devastated areas in and around the Oklahoma City metropolitan area. The tornado touched down in southwestern Canadian County and quickly became violent, debarking numerous trees as it passed through areas several miles southwest of Calumet. As it approached and crossed I-40 west of El Reno, it reached its maximum intensity. A nearby 20,000-pound, 9,100-kilogram oil tanker truck that was parked at an oil production site near the interstate was thrown approximately 1 mile, 1.6 kilometers, into a wooded gully. Several homes were swept completely away along I-40, trees were completely debarked, and the ground was heavily scoured in some areas. 5. At the nearby Cactus 117 oil rig site, a 1,900,000-pound, 860,000-kilogram oil derrick was blown over and rolled 3 times. The tornado weakened slightly as it passed north of El Reno and continued northeast, producing EF3 to EF4 damage in rural areas. The tornado then re-intensified and passed northwest of Piedmont at high-end EF4 intensity, leveling multiple homes and causing additional fatalities. Moving into Kingfisher County and Logan County south of Cochin, the tornado fluctuated several times between EF2 and EF3 intensity, causing varying degrees of damage. Afterwards, the tornado then rapidly weakened, causing EF0 to EF1 damage along the north side of Guthrie before dissipating. 2011 was a prolific year for tornadoes and tornado-associated fatalities, with multiple destructive outbreaks. The El Reno Piedmont tornado occurred during an outbreak across Oklahoma and the Great Plains that produced multiple strong to violent tornadoes near the Oklahoma City metropolitan area on May 24, and was itself part of a tornado outbreak sequence spanning from May 21 to 26. The Oklahoma storms came just 2 days after a devastating EF5 tornado struck Joplin, Missouri, which killed 158 people and became the costliest tornado in U.S. history. Additionally, the city of El Reno has infamously been the site of other intense tornadoes. On May 31, 2013, a tornado just south of the town became the largest ever recorded, with a width of 2.6 miles, 4.2 kilometers, and radar indicated wind speeds in excess of 296 miles per hour, 476 kilometers per hour. The massive multiple vortex tornado killed 8 people, including 3 storm chasers, and received a damage rating of EF3. 6.7. In 2019, a brief low-end EF3 tornado that spawned from an intense squall line struck just southeast of El Reno, killing 2 people and injuring dozens of others. Meteorological synopsis. Further information. Setup. Early on May 24, a strong upper-level trough, an elongated region of low atmospheric pressure aloft, advanced towards the Great Plains out of the southwestern United States and took on a negative tilt, becoming oriented northwest to southeast. 9:10, 5. At the same time, southerly flow brought moisture north over Texas and the southern Great Plains, allowing dew points in central Oklahoma to reach 18 to 21 degrees Celsius, 64 to 70 degrees Fahrenheit. 10. 504 to 505. This moisture, with temperatures in the mid-80 degrees Fahrenheit, 27 degrees Celsius, range, allowed for ample convective available potential energy, or CAPE. A measure of atmospheric instability, values reached 2500 4000 J per kilogram. Mid-level lapse rates were nearly dry adiabatic. 11, 2, 10, 504 to 505. In the late morning, a shortwave embedded within the main longwave trough advanced more rapidly, pushing the dry line into western Oklahoma, where it met the already present moisture. 10, 504 to 505. The shortwave's advance also brought strong wind shear and, incredibly high, storm relative helicity values of more than 500 meters 2s-2. The convergence of all these factors promised the development of intense convective thunderstorms. 11.2. Forecast. The National Weather Service Storm Prediction Center outlined a high-risk area for severe weather over central Oklahoma on this map. The National Weather Service Storm Prediction Center's Day 1 convective outlook for May 24, showing the categorical graphic. This version of the map shows a 45% probability of a tornado within 25 miles of a given point in the highest risk area, and a 10% chance of a significant tornado. The probability of a tornado within 25 miles of a point, cross-hatched area, 10% or greater probability of EF2 plus tornadoes. This risk was anticipated by the National Weather Service's Storm Prediction Center, SPC, and its local forecast office in Norman, Oklahoma. The Storm Prediction Center's outlooks for severe weather culminated in a high-risk area being delineated over the Great Plains for May 24. Issued at 11:25 a.m. CDT, the Storm Prediction Center's convective outlook for the day highlighted the tornado risk, which included central Oklahoma inside a large region of a 45% chance of a tornado touchdown within 25 miles, 40 kilometers, of any given point, and a 10% or greater chance of a significant, EF2+, tornado within that same 25-mile, 40 kilometers, radius. 12. An intense outbreak of tornadoes and widespread severe thunderstorms is expected later today over portions of KSOK, Texas. With all conditions favoring the potential for long-tracked strong, violent tornadoes and very large hail over portions of North Texas, Central OK, and Central KS. NWS Storm Prediction Center, SPC, May 24, 2011 16:30 UTC Day 1 convective outlook. At 12:50 p.m., the Storm Prediction Center issued a particularly dangerous situation, PDS, tornado watch, to remain in effect until 10 p.m., for most of central Oklahoma extending from the state border with Kansas down through the Oklahoma City metropolitan area and into northern Texas. The text of the tornado watch again warned of the possible development of destructive tornadoes, some of which could be long-tracked and strong to violent. 13. Initiation. Thunderstorms began to develop before 2 p.m. in a north-south oriented line just east of the dry line where the capping inversion was weakest, 10,505 including near Altus and Lawton in southwest Oklahoma. The tightly spaced storm cells rapidly developed classic supercell characteristics as they moved northeast. 9. The storm that produced the El Reno Piedmont tornado formed approximately 93 miles, 150 kilometers, west-southwest of Oklahoma City. 10,505. Tornado summary. Background. The supercell that eventually generated the El Reno Piedmont tornado first produced a tornado in Caddo County, Oklahoma, which tracked from west of the town of Lookeba to just northeast of it. The Lookeba tornado developed at 3:31 p.m. and persisted for approximately 16 minutes, traveling 9 miles, 14 kilometers, and destroying multiple structures. The 800-yard, 730 meters, wide tornado earned a damage rating of EF3. 9. As the Lookeba tornado moved northeast towards the Caddo, Canadian County border, between 3:40 and 3:42 p.m. The supercell's mesocyclone broadened and weakened slightly. This was followed by the development of a second mesocyclone from the original to the east-southeast between 3:42 and 3:44 p.m. 14. 2,689. This marked the start of the decay of the Lookeba tornado, which fully dissipated by 3:47 p.m. 14. 2,690. Over the next several minutes the original western mesocyclone dwindled as the newer mesocyclone coalesced, and the radar detection of a bounded weak echo region within the storm indicated that its updraft intensified during this period. 14. 2691-2692. Formation, peak intensity and Interstate 40. The El Reno Piedmont tornado formed at 3:51 p.m., as determined by mobile radar data. 14. Over the next 4 minutes, the tornado's condensation funnel extending from a low-hanging wall cloud broadened, causing the tornado to take on a large wedge appearance. 14. 2,696. It intensified quickly as it moved northeast, debarking and destroying many trees. 9. During this period, the storm was being monitored by a truck-mounted Rapid Scan X-band polarimetric (RAX pole) mobile Doppler weather radar, operated by the University of Oklahoma's Advanced Radar Research Center (ARRC), led by Howard Bluestein. That radar, stationed near the intersection of Smith Road and Walbaum Road less than 2 miles, 3.2 kilometers, south of I-40, captured the first polarimetric, rapid scan, mobile Doppler weather radar dataset of an EF5 tornado. 15. 3. Radar analysis. See also, disagreements on the intensity of tornadoes. A large radar dish mounted on a white pickup truck scans the dark, cloudy sky. The RAX pole mobile Doppler radar, shown here scanning a severe thunderstorm in Oklahoma in 2013. As the tornado moved towards I-40 to the southeast of the RAX pole radar and was peaking in intensity, it detected some of the fastest wind speeds ever measured on the planet. Interpretations slightly differ. The maximum instantaneous radial velocity sampled by the radar was originally reported as having been 124.8 meters per second, 279 miles per hour, measured 200 to 230 feet, 60 to 70 meters, above the ground at 4:12:26 p.m., 16, 4103, 15, 3, 17, 2. However, the maximum velocity was later reported as having been 132.1 meters per second, 295 miles per hour, measured approximately 72 feet, 22 meters, above radar level, at 4:12:39 p.m. In a 2014 paper by Bluestein et al., on the use of radar data for tornado ratings, 811 maximum radial velocities were also reported to have remained greater than 120.0 meters per second, 268 miles per hour, for several minutes. 17. 2. Additionally, multiple consecutive radar scans were averaged to yield an estimated 2-second average radial velocity of 118.4 meters per second, 265 miles per hour, and an estimated 4-second average velocity of 110.8 meters per second, 248 miles per hour. This was reported as likely to be an underestimate of the true 2 and 4s average wind speeds. 6. 3b. The instantaneous velocity readings taken are not directly equivalent to the 3-second gust at 33 feet, 10 meters, that the enhanced Fujita scale attempts to estimate, but they mark the second highest wind speed ever recorded in a tornado, after wind speeds of approximately 135 meters per second, 300 miles per hour, were recorded in both the 1999 Bridge Creek Moore tornado, 15, and a subvortex within the 2013 El Reno tornado. 6. 7. Where the most intense winds are generally present in a tornado is an unresolved question, but the limited existing research suggests that wind speeds are likely to be highest closer to the ground. 18. 6. 804. After the detection of the wind speeds, the quality of the data degraded until collection ceased altogether at 4:16 p.m., as the tornado progressed to the northeast and towards I-40 where it would produce its most intense damage. 16. 4,100. El Reno outskirts. When the tornado crossed I-40, the RAX pole radar 6.2 miles, 10 kilometers, away was still recording maximum radial velocities over 100 meters per second, 220 miles per hour, 190 yards, 170 meters, above the ground. 17. 2. There, the tornado struck multiple people in their cars. 3 people, Terry Peoples, 50, Don Wesley Krug, 71, and Joan Krug, 67, 19, were killed in 2 separate full-size pickup trucks, 19, which were hurled thousands of feet from the road. 20. Their bodies were found more than 300 yards, 270 meters, north of the interstate, outside their vehicles, stripped of clothing, and rendered unrecognizable, according to responding state troopers.